What's up, folks? It's your boy Raw Street Broker, and I got my man Street Money right here, and we are the Get Money Show.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
Yup. And today, our topic is going to be: is the stock market due for a crash, man?
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the fear index, also known as the VIX, which is the volatility index. I know it sounds like a lot, but I'm gonna show you how this correlates with the stock market crashing, and I think we might be due for a crash right now, man.
I've been thinking one.
Man, it's ridiculous, man. Well, we're gonna get into that right now. We're gonna talk about that now. We're going right in. Yo, what's up? This is the boy RS Broker.
Yo, this Street Money. Yo, RS, what's that noise I hear?
You know what that sound mean?
What it mean, boy?
It's time to make some money.
Okay,
You know that's
Get
what I
Money
do
Show.
best. Ring in the bell, man. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. I get it. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. And the way it does, you think of guns and drugs.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a stock market crash like we're actually due for it. And I'm not the only one to say it, but if you're watching different TV shows, they might say that, and these are the reasons why they will probably say that. But matter of fact, forget what they're saying. I'm gonna tell you why I believe it's one due, and I don't know how severe it will be. I just know it's one due. All right, so this is what we're gonna talk about. The first thing is the stock market has been on a 9-year bull run. Now, what that means is that ever since the recession back in 2009, all it's been doing is going up, all the way up. Like, if you'd have put, like, say if you would have bought JP Morgan at like, what was that, like $18 back in 2009, it's at 104 now. $104 a share as of right now. It's killing it right now. So if you start investing your money then, or pretty much anything, a mutual fund, anything of that nature, you would have been like, wow, I can't believe I made as much money as I did. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, this bull market's been going on for a long time. It might be due for a crash. Now, the second thing is the real estate. Now, when we look at the real estate, we're looking at real estate inventory, and it's the amount of inventory out there is pretty short. It's like a shortage out there, and it's reaching pre-recession levels. So what that means is that it's not that much inventory to buy because people aren't really selling as much because it's going up as much as it is. And I think you added something else to that. You were saying something about what is it? Real estate. It was something else I thought we talked about earlier.
I don't really remember. I just know that it is a real estate shortage. Nobody's really selling anymore, and all those has already bought, and with the interest rates going up,
okay,
people may not buy.
That's what it was. It's because the interest rate being up and the way the prices are. There you go. So that's why we had Street Money, because sometimes Raw Street Broker forgets. The Street Money be on it though. So that's another thing, the real estate inventory shortage. And then the third one is what I like is the VIX level. The VIX level being low. And what the VIX level is also known as the fear index or the feel good index. Right now, everybody's feeling good. So that's alarming right there. When everybody's feeling good, when everybody's making money throughout all industries, whether it's real estate, the stock market, I know a lot of people doing a lot of spending and stuff. Even during like the holidays, we just broke a record with a lot of spending going on out there. Like everybody's feeling good. Everybody's making money.
I ain't making no money.
No, you making money, Street Money. All right, we're not making that much money for GP. Right. I mean, we're not rich. We just, we're doing all right,
Okay.
So, so because of all this, this is now why I want to talk about are we due for a crash, and what I'm looking at was called the fear index, which is the VIX. And why I look at that and I say, oh man, we might really have something coming on upon the horizon in the near future, whatever you want to call that. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about the VIX and what does the volatility index mean. I'm gonna give you the definition, then I'm gonna give you the Get Money Show definition. Okay. All right. Let's see this definition right here.
I like it.
All right, I'm giving the definition right here. All right, the definition of the VIX. The VIX tracks the 30-day implied volatility of options on the S&P 500 index. Damn, that's a lot. It's referred to as the fear index or the fear gauge, as option prices tend to fluctuate rapidly, or pretty much it's a very big fluctuation as times are in an economic downturn, or it doesn't move as much when it's doing great as it is right now. There's no real fluctuation when it's doing great right now. So that's pretty much in a nutshell, that's the technical definition of it. Now I'm gonna give you the Get Money Show definition of it and what we like to look at it for. The Get Money Show says that the definition is a way of timing the stock market. Now you can't really technically time it perfectly because nobody knows when it's going to crash. Nobody knows when it's just going to go skyrocket. But if the VIX is low, you might want to sell off a little bit and take the profits. If it's high, you might want to start buying into it and buying into the stock market. So basically, when the VIX is high, it's time to buy. When the VIX is low, it's time to go. And that's why I relate to this being saying that is the stock market due for a crash, because the VIX is very, very low right now. It's at pre-recession levels, which whenever it hits that kind of low level, it's like, wow, is something going to happen? Like you get nervous. People starting to get nervous. That's why you're starting to hear like, oh, everybody, the stock market's just been going up, and we breaking records like every day. The stock market is at its highest. Right now, the Dow Jones, you can see the Dow Jones when we talked about the Dow Jones a couple shows ago. If you look at that, you see it was at an all-time high then. Now it's at an all-time high now. So it just keeps going up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the volatility index, okay, and why it's called the fear index. And I'm explaining just looking at this quick chart right here. Now this chart is going to show from 2003 all the way up to 2018, the beginning of 2018. Now, if you notice about this chart, when it says the VIX volatility index, it shows that during the recession, which was 2009, it was high. It was like at 80 points. However, now in 2018, it's low. It's actually at 10.1 right now. So that volatility index is saying, wait a minute, in 2009, we know everybody was scared. Everybody was like, oh my God, what's going on? Everybody was pulling their money out. That's what was causing the stock market to crash. Right now, everybody's throwing their money in. Everybody's feeling good. Everybody's saying, oh my gosh, I'm making money off of anything, even the penny stocks. That you might put like $50 in a penny stock, even that went up. And they don't, some of them, you don't even know who the CEO is. They don't even have information on some of this stuff. And it's just been shooting up because everything's been going up. So when that starts to happen and you see that volatility index low, you gotta start to think about taking money off the table if you're already in the stock market, or buying something that can reflect the changes or the changes in the stock market. You understand what I'm saying? Right now we're gonna go to a fast break and we're gonna come right back.
How you get this money? Make it hot. I'ma show you how you get this money. I'ma show you how you get this money.
All right, everybody, welcome back from the break. We was having Raw Street was going over the VIX, and he was telling us about the crash and what was going on. You just seen a nice chart showing what we're talking about. There's some real stuff that's happening out there in the stock market. Yep. Again, we're not financial advisors, but we can read some charts and stuff that we've learned throughout the past, and it's giving signals. Hey, be careful. That's all we're saying. Just pretty much be careful. And right now, even though you're being careful, there's a way to place a bet, as I always call it a bet. But you can put your money in the market to make money. So remember how people will say, I make money going up and when it's coming down? Yep. Well, Raw Street is going to show us how we make money when the stock market starts to come down.
Absolutely. So like we talked about before, the market was at its all-time low in like 2009. The recession started around 2008, maybe a little bit before that. But right now it's at an all-time high, like we were saying. So now we're going to talk about how to actually capitalize on this, how to make money off of this. Now look, with me, what I'm into is I'm into buying some stocks onto this. And it's really not really a stock that I really like to buy. I really like to buy the index on it, which is kind of the stock, I guess. It's hand on hand, it's really like the ETF. Or really the ETN, that's what it's called. But we just want to call it a stock for this purpose right here, just to make it easier. So what I like to look at is something called the VXX. And that's called the iPath S&P 500 short-term futures, VIX. That sounds crazy. I know it do. But what it's doing is, it's basically saying, okay, it's following the options that's going on, looking at all the options trading that's going on, all the future trading is going on, and it's saying, hey, all right, we see these indicators, everything is at an all-time low. I mean, everything's at an all-time low when it comes to, the fear, basically, everybody being scared. Everybody's like, oh, it's doing great right now. So this VXX right now is at what, like $25 or something of that nature. We're gonna pull that up for you. But right now it's at $25, and that's really good because back when everything was crashing in 2009, it was like at 100,000. It was something ridiculous. It was high as I don't know what. But now it's pretty low. And if you want to say, okay, we due for a crash by following this volatility index, you could buy into that. And that'd be a way of actually hedging. That'd be a way of protecting yourself. If it does crash, you might not want to sell the JP Morgan. You might not want to sell the Verizon. So you might say, you know what, I don't want to sell that right now. I'm just going to get this futures, which is the VXX. I just want to get that. And that's the way of hedging. So if it does crash, everything does start coming down, at least you'll make money off of that, you know? They have another one that's kind of the similar, it kind of does the opposite of that. It's the XIV, Velocity Shares in Daily Inverse Short-Term ENT. That's crazy, but it's doing the exact opposite of what I was telling you before. If you think that the market's due to skyrocket, something you might want to get into and so on. So there's certain ways of getting into this stuff. Or you could do C, which I think is also good, is if the market keeps going the way it is, it keeps shooting up, just take some money off the table. Just sell a little bit of the stuff that you had. Those are just ways that I, kind of plan for a market if it ever goes for a crash. Even, like I was saying, 2007, I took some money off. One part of it was because I kind of needed it. But the other part was I needed to use some of that money, you know what I mean? But the other part was like, I kind of saw the VIX and I'm like, oh, it's kind of high right now. And then you start hearing fears of a crash and stuff like that. And then it happened. So I'm like, wow, this thing really does work. This indicator does work. It's just, just knowing what to look at and what to follow and so on. So you can also take, like I said, you can take money off the table. So there's certain ways you can combat this kind of stuff. So, like I always say, scared money don't make no money. But you got to also think about how the market's moving, and you got to plan from there.
Oh, absolutely,
man.
So I do definitely like those ways to get into the game and make money on a downturn, which, man, thousands of people. Craziest thing I ever seen is if you go online, meaning like Google, is the market going to crash? And you Google, not really Google, but you YouTube the market going to crash. It's like 3 million people say it's going to crash.
Yep.
Now the crazy thing is, no matter what point in your lifetime, these 3 million people are still there saying this is going to crash.
Yep.
Then, if you do it on the other side and say, hey, let me Google, is the stock market going to continue to go up? Nobody don't say anything. Why is that? They don't say it's going to continue to go up.
Yeah, I think their favorite thing they like to say is, they don't never say it goes up. You're right. They always say they have expectations of small growth. That's the key word. They say we expect future gains. They don't never say, oh man, it's going to be hot this year. And you never hear that. You are right.
Yeah.
They always say, yeah, we expect future gains in this next quarter, in the next year. Yeah, 2008 is what's the word? Oh gosh, I forgot what. I mean, 2018 they expect cautious gains or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what they.
It's never no big excitement because I got my money in. Of course, if the market go up, I'm gonna make money.
Yeah.
But there's no big excitement like there's such a big excitement that it's gonna crash.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Robert Kiyosaki. What's the big guy? He wrote a book. What the heck is his name?
Not Jim Cramer.
Jim Cramer.
Okay.
Jim Cramer. Well, he didn't say it's gonna crash.
Mm-hmm.
It was the guy, big. I don't want to call him a goofy guy, but he used to help fix people when they had problems. He's real big. I can't think of his name right now.
I can't remember.
But whatever his name is, he wrote a book, and he's saying that the market is about to crash. And he was just a psychologist. Now he's writing books on the economy. So it's crazy. Other ways really to kind of hedge your bet that I think, no guarantees, but I am putting some money on the table with it, is these cryptocurrencies. I'm thinking maybe put a few dollars in there to kind of balance things out as well, because, well, I know one thing, it's an old saying, if you think the market's going to crash, that's for sure. You put your money in gold, silver, guns, and bullets.
Okay.
You should be okay. It's that simple. So I have been looking at some, we already do silver, we buy physical silver and stuff. But I've been looking at some different silver stocks and gold stocks. Yamaha Gold is one. Heckler Silver. I bought a few shares, maybe 5-6 shares. It's real cheap right now. It's maybe like $3-4 a share. Not too sure about them. Still doing homework on them. But Yamaha Gold is pretty good one. There's a bunch of other good gold stocks out there that you put your money in that are super low right now, because if the stock market's up, gold and silver is low. I mean, including platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum is really big now. Palladium is pretty good right now. It's super low that you can get in real cheap, get a nice, decent amount of shares. So if the economy starts to come down, the stock market comes down, the rich start taking their money and shifting it into gold and silver and palladium and all other
Platinum, all that stuff.
all that's the physical wealth type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then that starts growing, because the more people that buy, the higher prices go.
But so far it works for us, and that's how we like doing things. That's what's great about our show, because you have two different or even more ways of doing things, and the results are kind of the same. So we like that, and that's why we are the Get Money Show.
Absolutely.
It's because that's what we are all about, trying to get money, trying to provide, do what we gotta do for our families and so on, and do everything legally, baby.
Yeah, that's true. Well, once again, we thank you guys for spending some time with us here on the Get Money Show. Again, as always, hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
Right after you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. It'll notify you whenever we put up a new video. And that way you can keep up with the Get Money Show. We're going to be doing our videos like we always do every week. And if we get some extra ones in there, we'll definitely do that. Look below. There's been some links down there that you can go to use to buy some cryptocurrency, some Bitcoin, that sort of thing, and other links to other apps that we use to stay up with our money and keep things going. And just a prelim, our next show is how to use the Robinhood app.
Right.
And using that Robinhood app, we're going to actually show, like we did when we did the Coinbase, actually show a purchase of a stock that we're buying that we think is going to do well. And I think that purchase may be the VXX. It's just to hedge with other stocks and stuff that we got out there. Like Wall Street said, it was about $26, $27 right now. 26, 27 at the time of making this video, which is January 15th, 2018. And we just buy one or two just to have it. If the stock market starts to go down, the value of that keep going up. So it may pay to buy some more as time go on, or you know, you got to keep your eye on it. That's what it's all about. And again, hit the subscribe button. We thank you for coming out and spending time with us. Ross Street, anything else?
Yeah, just don't forget to also follow us on Instagram. We are the Get Money Show. The name of it is called, of course, the Get Money Show. You can just look for it on us on Instagram and Facebook. And I think that's it.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, don't nothing change, let something change. Talk to y'all.
Who am I? I'm RS Broker.
This is a Street Money. I'm out of here.
And guess what this is called? The Get Money Show. You know what that sound means? It means it's time to make some money. And you know that's what I do best. Ring in the bell, man. I'm getting Wall Street money. I get Wall Street money. I get it. I'm getting Wall Street money.